Hello everyone, Samantha here with Crafty Sammy. It has been a hot minute since I've made a video for my YouTube channel. It has been crazy busy with work. I had a crazy bit of a summer, which I'll get into for today's WIP and Chat. But if you're watching this, thank you for watching again. I know it's been so long. If this is your first video with me, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Today I am going to be working on this beautiful Diamond Art Club, the diamond painting. It is upside down where I'm working on it just because it is quite large. But I have this top, if you're looking at it the right way, it would be the top left section done. And these colors are really coming together really beautifully with how they kind of have like maybe like a sunset sky with the autumn fall colors. It's I can't quite remember the name of this one, but it's like a homestead. There's some cows down here and an owl flying up here, and it's really beautiful. So I've been working away this way on it. I have a little bit left of this section, and then I'm gonna be moving over more. So I'm gonna finish up this section with you guys, and then I'm gonna have to maybe, if we're still chatting, move it around. My craft table is not very big. I'm not sure what everyone else's workspace is like, but it is easy to run out of room quite quickly on these pieces. Like I mentioned, I had a bit of a crazy summer. If you've seen one of my other videos, I do open up about the fact that I have endometriosis, and I have been struggling with the pain for a number of years. My doctor basically said, too bad, because you want to have kids, you'll just have to suffer through the pain. And that is just kind of is what it is. I'm in Canada, so we are under the public health care, not private, which does make a bit of a difference. Like, it's great that I can get work, any surgery and procedure done without, going bankrupt, which in the States, it is crazy how much money some people have to pay out for procedures. But anyway, I was able to find a surgeon that I was able to get in really quickly and unexpectedly. I think I was put on their, top of their cancellation list. And then get the procedure I wanted to pretty quickly, which was great. Definitely wasn't a fun procedure. So my endometriosis is in my abdominal wall, like right around my belly button. So I had to have basically the incision went across my belly button for them to remove the mass that had existed there. So I couldn't do really anything for the first 2 weeks of August. And then I was pretty limited for the remaining bit of August, which was so hard. If you've watched some of my other videos, I talk about hiking with my dog, walking him lots. And, I try to be a fairly active person. And I wasn't allowed to walk him for the whole month of August because I couldn't lift anything heavier than 20 pounds. And if he pulls, which he does because he's car reactive and dog reactive, would put more than 25 pounds worth of force on my abdominal muscles. So that was really hard. And I couldn't really sit up properly for long periods of time. So diamond painting wasn't comfortable. I did do a lot of crocheting because I could do that lying down. I didn't have the energy to make any videos. For the first 2 weeks, I could hardly talk without getting winded. So I definitely wasn't going to be able to do any kind of WIP and chats, and I had pretty limited energy. So that really threw my month of August for a loop. And then I was playing a lot of catch up at work afterwards. And then we've just been very busy with staffing shortages. My team is busy with work. I'm kind of an accountant, kind of a consultant, so it's great to be busy. I know a lot of industries are facing staffing shortages, and we are definitely one of them. So I just haven't really had all that much time to sit and diamond paint. I've also been really focusing on my crochet shop. I opened up an Etsy shop. I think it was back in April. I finally pulled the trigger and made the plunge to do something that was pretty scary, but I've been really enjoying it. I've had a few customs that have been requested of me, which is amazing. I've made, some things for friends and family, and sold them on there, and that's definitely been taking up a lot of my time. Right now I'm working on a beer koozie order, some tall boy cans. for someone who's making a beer advent calendar. So wants a koozie for each one. So 24 of them. So definitely a lot of work to do. I think I have, how many do I have now? I think I have 10 made now. They take me, you know, a couple hours each to just making sure that they're, you know, done properly. It's harder on my hands. I'm trying to keep the stitches tight, so, you know, it's nice and tight on that can, and there's not a lot of spacing, but that's really has been what. Sorry about that. My dog, Mr. Glenn, is neighborhood watching, and some dog had the audacity to walk in front of our house. He's not supposed to be on the couch, but seems to be the only way I can actually get to diamond paint in peace, is just to let him sit on the couch and look out the window. I have no idea what I was saying before he decided to go barking and be crazy, but it is nice to finally get to work on this. I've been working away on this since the summer, just in little increments. Like, again, I've been crocheting so much. Number of WIPs that I have on the go. I really want to do a craft fair with my friend who I taught to crochet about a year ago, and she makes some really beautiful, she picked it up amazingly well, and she makes some really beautiful sweaters, especially for her little girl, where I love making blankets. I've gotten more so into amigurumi, as well as like beanies and household things like beer koozies and wash dishcloths and things like that. So that's kind of been the focus, but I have enjoyed this piece. The colors are really nice. I haven't really had any gapping or sizing issues, which is nice. When I turn on my light pad, I always think that, oh my gosh, there's all these gaps, but if you know, with the light pad, it definitely makes it look a lot worse, or makes it look like there's all these gaps when there really isn't any. So if you are using a light pad, don't get discouraged if you think there's a lot of spacing. Turn it off, it's likely you're not even going to notice, because that's definitely what I'm experiencing with this one. I think this is the most colors I've ever had in a diamond painting. There are quite a few. I have so many of these containers filled to do this one, but it's fun getting to work with so many of the different colors in one thing and get to see all of the different colors. The last one, Aperol Spritz, I did had a lot of pretty oranges and yellows. This one also does have that as well. Same with a lot of, you know, pinks and reds. I think there's 2 ABs in this kit. Maybe just one. Maybe it's just one. But these beautiful orange ABs. Oh no. And then there's this kind of limey green, which is also an AB. That's like, oh, if you don't know what that means, it's Aurora Borealis. It just has like an extra sheen that they put on it to give it like a different sparkle, kind of like these ones have it. I try to use my tweezers just so like that none of it comes off on the wax. They do kind of add a fun little pop to the diamond paintings. I know some people like to buy like their own diamonds that are like more like rhinestone type deal and add them to diamond paintings. You can also, if you save them from other kits, you can add them to where you think in your painting they would make, you know, a nice difference if it doesn't actually come with it, or maybe the company that you buy from doesn't do that. You could always add it. Like the white is always really pretty, and you could put a few of those in just to kind of give it a little something else. It just depends on your own style and how much you want to change what you have. What I just love about diamond painting is, and same with crochet, I can just do it, and you know, I'm focusing so much on the task at hand that nothing else going on in the world seems to really matter. I find them both such great stress relieving activities because you just are focusing on either reading the pattern. This one you're focused on getting your right colors and putting them in the right places, and all the noise, especially nowadays, considering how much noise there is going on in the world. Like, it's important. I totally agree. It's important to care about what's going on, but having an escape from it can be really nice. And that's what I love about these crafts and hobbies. I swear, if more people did a craft or crocheted or diamond painted, there'd be so much less anger out there. Because if you're doing this, you can't type, you can't be out there yelling at people. I don't understand when it came so appropriate to yell at complete strangers, and it really stresses me out. the fact that people do that and behave that way. I get when you're passionate about something, but yelling at someone just who's doing their job isn't appropriate. Sorry, not sorry if you disagree and if you've yelled at people. But yes, anyway, side tangent. That's really why I like to diamond paint. And if it's something that you've been thinking of trying, I know so many people say, oh, I'm scared to try it. Like, I'm scared to mess up. What's so nice about diamond painting, it's not like actual painting. Like, I tried watercolor painting and it was so hard, and I would do good and then I would mess up, and then everything I did so well on was gone because I messed up that one little bit. When diamond painting, the drills pop right off. If you know, the biggest thing that you can do is spill like liquid onto your the glue. But if you don't have that happen, it's so easy to fix, and you just pop the diamonds off and then you just keep going. So, and if you don't buy the best quality one and it doesn't turn out how you wanted it to, that's okay too, because you know, it's time that you're spending for you. It's something that you're doing for you. If you wanted to frame it and it doesn't look how you want it to, I know I had that happen with one of mine. It's okay. I'll find a different one that I like and I'm gonna try to frame it. I'm actually excited. The last 2 diamond art clubs I finished, there's one's called like, it's like a coffee one, and then the other one's this Aperol Spritz one. I finally bought the canvas that I want to like glue them onto, and then you cut them and then you can wrap it around. Miss Crochet and Coffee has a really good demo of how she does it, and that's what I'm gonna follow. Her YouTube account is amazing as well, for diamond painting and other crafts and stuff, but she shows it really well about how she did it, and that's what I really want to do with the 2 of mine, and hang them up. We have this bar area and I think they would look so sharp there, and then if I can find other photos that have to do with liquor and coffee, I think it will kind of be a really cool like multimedia wall type thing. I don't know if I'm using the word multimedia right, but in my mind that's what it's going to be. But I cannot believe it is November 12th. The 2021 is almost over, and I feel like we just started 2021. My birthday's at the end of the month, and I feel like I just had my previous birthday. Like, the speed at which this year went by. My husband and I also didn't take any time off and take any like extended vacation because he had a new job and it was very busy and he wasn't really sure when he could take the time. We did a working holiday out in Kelowna in BC, which was a lot of fun. They're very different than when we usually go out there just to vacation. But it was nice because when we were there, it was, well, honestly, it was too hot. I live in where I live for a reason. It doesn't get to be this hot. But it was like 30 degrees and above. The one morning at like 8 a.m., it was already 25 degrees. And so it was honestly impossible to do anything outdoors. Like, I had brought all my hiking stuff to go for hikes with my dog, and it was too hot. Like, we couldn't walk on the pavement. Luckily there was a dog park right where we stay. So we could just go around the grass, but we had to do that right in the morning and wait pretty much till the sun was almost setting because it was just too hot for him. And you could tell that he would, when we would throw through his ball, he would be in distress like almost immediately. A lot of people don't realize the signs of a distress in your dog. They can't tell. Like, they just think, oh, they're hot, they're breathing fast, but they're actually hyperventilating. And it means they're overheated, overexhausted, and thirsty. You don't want to do that to your dog because you know how uncomfortable that is. But so it was nice getting to work out of there. We would go to wineries and stuff on the weekend, and after work we'd go find some breweries, but definitely not the same as having the whole time off. And we usually take at least a week off, full week off, and not having that, I am definitely feeling it, especially with being so busy at work. And have been busy for such a prolonged time. Usually we have ups and downs, and we just haven't really had that down yet, which once again, I'm happy because I'm in more of a consulting kind of realm. And so being busy is great, but it's still tiring. So I'm looking forward to some of the trips we have upcoming and planned. I really can't wait. In the new year, my friend's getting married in Vegas, so we'll be doing that. And yeah, so that will be nice. And now that we have the vaccine rollout and we're allowed to see some of our friends, we've been spending way more time with our friends, and that's been so refreshing as well. I know a lot of people loved COVID because they are introverts, don't have to see anyone. I am an introvert for sure. I'm a homebody. I love sitting at home with my dog, crocheting, walking with him, and then coming home and, watching TV and diamond painting and whatnot. But there's a limit. And I think it's so important not to get too stuck in that. I know I've seen it with some of my friends where they're an introvert, their spouse is an introvert, and now they have absolutely no interest in seeing anyone. And I know for introverts, like being around people is not a recharge. I get it because I am one, and I recharge by being home alone. But after spending so much time alone, getting to spend some like time with a friend, like even just one-on-one time with them, I found like gave me new life. Getting to talk to someone other than people at work. I do FaceTime with my mom like every day, especially during COVID when I couldn't see her in person. I try to see her way more in person now, and same with friends. I think COVID showed like what are the relationships that you truly want to invest in, and are they investing back in you? That was a big eye opener. I know throughout my years, when you're constantly messaging someone, hey, do you want to get together? And they cancel on you, and you're like, okay, let's reschedule, and you're always the one. When you kind of just stop and go for a period of time, and if they're not messaging you back, maybe that's not a relationship that needs your energy. Maybe they need some space. People go through a lot. I will never, not welcome a friend back after kind of pulling back, because I've done that, especially throughout like my journey with endometriosis, the impacts that's having on me and my husband. That's made me not want to be around anyone. It's really challenging going through what we're going through, and it makes you just not want to be around people. So I will never assume to know what someone's going through behind a closed door. And once they're ready to come back into my life, I know they'll reach out if they really want to. Sometimes people just need their space, because like I said, I've been there, I get it, and I know how hard that all is. And I would never want to make someone feel bad for doing just what they need to do. I'm looking forward to after COVID and having, just a bit more be like, I really don't want to do this, and I'm not going to do that, rather than like dragging myself to a party that I didn't want to go to, feeling super anxious the whole time if I don't know a ton of people. My husband's a social butterfly, so it's not like he doesn't mean to, but I'm often like not by myself, he doesn't leave me by myself, but trying to strike up conversations with people that you don't always know is very exhausting, especially when you are more introverted. So I think I'll start saying no to a lot more of those and just focusing on doing things that I actually want to do. Instead of going to that party, I'm going to get a good night's sleep and then go hiking or skiing with my close friends. That sounds way more appealing to me. Yeah, just my random thoughts. It's just been so long since I've done a WIP and Chat, and it feels so good to be back sitting here chatting with you guys. Let me know how you've been doing in the comments. What are you working on? What have you been working on? Did you take a break from diamond painting over the summer? I know I certainly diamond paint way less in the summer. We are moving to our cooler period, so let me know if you did something similar. I know I need to start mixing it in more, because with crocheting so much, especially these freaking beer koozies, it is so hard on my hands. I've been going back to physio as well. Had an accident doing something stupid on a river and a floaty, looking at water flowing unbelievably fast. Shouldn't have got on it. I can't remember if I talked about this in a WIP and Chat or not, but got thrown out of the raft pretty quickly on, and the current was unbelievably strong, and I couldn't swim to the side. I couldn't pretty much do anything other than keep my feet up and hope nothing happened. And if I didn't have a life jacket on, I for sure would have drowned. I have very much appreciation for water and rivers and the danger that they present, knowing that, I can swim, but I am by no means a strong swimmer or a good swimmer. And in a river, even if you're a good and strong swimmer, you're not going to be for like when it's the melt season here and all the snow is melting off the mountains. It is an insane amount of water that is flowing down. But anyway, so I was on this river, got thrown out of the raft. My shin was split open. My legs were covered in bruises, so that messed up how I was walking. And then I had my surgery, and all I could do was sit in one position. I couldn't sleep on my side. I could only sleep on my back for about a month and a half. So my lower back is unbelievably tight, and I always get a really tight up in my shoulder blades from, working on my computer, and then crocheting, I think, just kind of zings it, because I sit probably like most people, like right now I'm hunched doing this. Like a lot of crafts, you're not able to keep excuse me, the best posture. Doing this upside down can be so hard with some of these symbols. So I started going to physio again, which has been nice. But I definitely need to mix up my crafts more because I am getting really sore, and I don't want to get to the point where I got to, I think about a year ago, I was working with some really heavy blanket yarn, like crocheting constantly. Every second I could, I was crocheting it, and I did like 2 baby blankets in a row, and I could hardly grip like a pen. My wrist was so sore, and I definitely don't want to get back to that. So I'm trying to incorporate more massages, more physio, and then changing up everything that I've been doing. And I have so many of these in my closet. Like I've had this Halloween one for I think like over like almost 2 years now, and it's Halloween's now past, and I didn't work on it because I had this one open that I wanted to give to the people that I get my farm share from. But obviously that's not going to happen now because my farm share is done because it's winter. I don't know if we're going to do it again next year, so I might just have this one, but maybe I'll put it on canvas and just give it away, or if I have a craft show, maybe I can just hang it up and see if someone will be interested in it. Who knows? I'll figure something out. But once again, it's not why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to sell or I've given some of them as presents. But once again, it's just time for me. I usually do it when my husband and I watch TV, which is also why I haven't done very many WIP and Chats. If I have been working on it, it's because we're watching TV. And like I could record it and then chat over just the recording. But he really hates lights being on. He loves sitting in a dark room where I'm the total opposite. So I always have to work with my little lamp above where I'm sitting when I'm crocheting when we watch TV. So diamond painting certainly won't happen. What we definitely are super excited about right now is Yellowstone. If you have Amazon Prime, get on it. If you haven't, it is so good. The episodes are so intense. It's crazy how much can happen in some of their episodes. They just released, I think it's the 3rd season, and so far so good. They released 2 episodes that first time, I believe, and then they're doing an episode, I think a week is how they're working it, instead of releasing them all at once. I think that's because people will do like a free trial and then cancel it as soon as they're done like binging the show, and I think that's why they do that instead of releasing it all at once. Which for those of us who pay for it are like, come on, just give it all to me. I want to sit and binge it and not leave my house for a week while I watch it. That one's super good, and we caved to getting Crave because there's a really good show on there called Succession. So if you have Crave and you haven't watched that, I highly recommend that one as well. But I'm rewatching Dexter on my own because they are having that new season of Dexter come out. I'm sure it won't be nearly as good. If you've watched it, you know how it ended, and you're probably like every other person that watched that show and did not enjoy the ending. I know that's my husband, didn't actually end up finishing it because he was watching it, and then it ended while he was still like catching up, and everyone said how bad the ending was, and he just stopped, which I don't know how you do. Even if it's like a bad TV show, once I'm watching it, like I have to know how it ended. I can't just stop. That's not like a thing that's even in my being. But it's kind of funny watching it because you remember some things and you're like, oh, is this what happened? Is this what happened? I think this is what happened. And then it happens. You're like, yes, I knew I was right. And it's so he plays the part so well. I think it's such a good series. Definitely like not for those that are squeamish, because it's about like a serial killer who kills only bad people. So if you're not into that, definitely not your show. But I still think it's really good. I think that's really, we've been slowly watching like all of Lucifer on Netflix as well. That one's nice, and the main character, he's British, so he's nice to listen to, and he is not that bad to look at, which, you know, for the ladies and the guys out there, it's a perk. Not the only reason to watch, of course, but still not a bad one too. I think that's the right color. Yeah, that looks the same. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these trays because I like to put them like if it across multiple ones. I don't want to constantly be opening bags. Like some of them, I have bags behind me that I couldn't fit in here because I think I use pretty much all of my trays. And it's hard to keep track if you have too many, but I have a lot on the go. There's a lot of colors. It's a lot of changing colors, as you can see, kind of like confetti style. Later on, I think like lower down, there'll be bigger blocks of color. This sky bit right over here has been a lot, but it looks like even as I move down, it's gonna be much bigger blocks of color. But if you have subscribed to me and you stayed subscribed to me, thanks for hanging in there with me. I know it's been such a long time since I released a video. I really do want to start releasing more. I had so much fun with them. I know I've had a few even inquiries about like crochet tutorials, and I really didn't keep doing them. They do take so much work and a lot of time to do a crochet tutorial. I'm getting slightly better setups, but it's still... They do take just a lot of time, and I just haven't had that. And it's Christmas season, so there's a few things I want to make. Like I mentioned, I'm trying to do that craft show as well. But I do need to make sure I give my diamond painting hobby some love. But let me know in the comments how you are doing. I would love to chat with you and hear from you. If you haven't checked out my Instagram, it's under my Etsy shop name, Minnie's Cozy Crochet. So my grandma taught me how to crochet, and she was Grandma Minnie. So the best thing I thought I could do would be to name my shop after her, because every time I sit down and pick up my crochet hooks, I get to think of her, and I think she'd be pretty proud of all that I have been able to learn. She passed away when I was still quite young, so I didn't get to learn nearly as much from her. So I have learned a lot from YouTube and just kind of trying things out. So I think she'd be pretty proud of how far I've come. So that's kind of why, my shop is named that. And I just thought she would just love it, and just to kind of honor her a little bit there. I wish I could have had so much more time with her. Those of you that your grandparents are still around, love them every single day. Mine lived in the States, so I didn't get to see them more than once a year usually, and I just would wish I had some more time with them. I wish they would have been around longer to have more time with them. Definitely, cherish that family if they're in your life, if you know them. I understand there's so many different circumstances as to why you might not, but if they are in your life, and we give them a phone call, especially right now with COVID. My husband's grandparents are still here, and they're in a city that's about a 2-hour drive. And I just feel for them being, kind of stuck in their rooms alone, not being able to see their families. It's just heartbreaking. So, if they're there, give them a call, because like I said, you're gonna miss them when they're gone. But I am happy I was able to learn something from her, and a memory that I get to, kind of think about. One of the things I get to think about while I'm doing it, forcing out all of the noise and the craziness that's going on in this world, is thinking about sitting with my grandma on her porch as she was teaching me how to do the chain. I literally had a ball this big of just chain stitch. That's all I would do, because that's all I knew how to do, which is really important when you're learning, to get that tension right. I still have really tight tension, however, so I guess I never got that right. But anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling on now, so I think I might just keep continuing this. I'll throw on some music, maybe speed it up a little bit. I need to move this over anyway to start working on this other piece. I have been using washi tape on the sides. Remember, if you're using this clear plastic stuff, do not let the top touch the sticky bit of the canvas, because you're not going to be able to get it off, and it's going to be very frustrating when you can't get it off. But I hope you enjoyed today's WIP and Chat. I feel like I just talked so fast. I got everything that I kind of wanted to talk about out. For my next one, I'll definitely see if I can think of maybe some other topics. If you guys have any specific questions, throw them in the comments below. Let me know what brands you're really enjoying. I would love to try out some other brands as well. I know I'm not buying any ones right now until I finish what's in my stash, but it's always nice to I love looking at them. I'm a window shopper. I like putting stuff in my cart, but not necessarily buying it. Just that kind of satisfaction of online shopping, but not spending the money. So let me know below, and so I can check out, if you guys have that Instagram or you show all of yours, let me know as well in the comments. I'd love to see what you're working on. But thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for hanging in there with me, and it was so good to be back here with you guys. I'll see you later.